Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of The Conversation. And in today's video, the topic is why this will be Kawhi Leonard's greatest playoff performance. So, before we get into the content, I want you guys to go ahead and hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. We're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers as soon as possible. And make sure you hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content so you don't miss anything when we publish these videos. So, let's just get straight into the topic, man. Now, I just want to give you guys really the background of this video and why I'm actually doing this video. Going into these playoffs, we all know that these are going to be some unique circumstances for all of these teams. And a lot of people have a lot riding on these playoffs. LeBron James can do something amazing. You know, Kawhi can do something amazing. Maybe Giannis can finally win a championship. There's so many storylines going into going into this season. Can Giannis go back to back? Who's going to be crowned the champion of the LA teams, and so on and so forth. But looking at these playoffs, and given the fact that I've picked the Clippers to win the NBA championship, it really started to dawn on me, like, wait a minute, if this guy is able to pull this off, this may be his greatest performance yet, because given the circumstances, I mean, since the games have started up, these scrimmages have started up again, I've been watching some of these games, and it's been a completely unique experience for me, seeing games with no fans and the courts a little. I mean, it's weird, but I'm slowly getting acclimated to it. And if there's a bit of a shift, imagine what it must be like for the players who all throughout their careers have been used to playing with fans, and now they're possibly going to have to do this without fans. So just imagine the mental shift that these guys need to make to be able to perform under such circumstances. Now, looking at Kawhi Leonard so far over his career, he's only been playing for 8 seasons, but he's accomplished quite a lot in his 8 seasons. He's a 2-time NBA champion. He's a 2-time Finals MVP. He's been a 4-time All-Star, an All-Star Game MVP. He's been on 3 All-NBA teams, 5 All-Defensive NBA teams, a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year winner, and he also led the league in steals in 2015. So there's no question that Kawhi Leonard is one of the greatest perimeter defenders in the history of basketball. You know, you have Ron Artest, Dennis Rodman, Bruce Bowen, all of them, Draymond Green, all of these guys, Shane Battier. Kawhi Leonard is in there as one of the greatest perimeter defenders in the history of the league. Now, if we look at his numbers this season, he's having a career year. He's averaging 27 points a game, getting you 7.3 rebounds and 5 assists, and that's a career high for him in assists. If you look at his efficiency, he's basically shooting close to 50% from the field, about 38% from the three-point line, 89% from the free throw line. I mean, the guy is just sensational, getting you like 1.8 steals a game. So he's having a standout year. Now, looking forward, for me to sort of have this type of projection and say this could be one of his greatest seasons, we have to go back historically and see how this guy has performed in the playoffs before. So if we look at the 2015-2016 season, I don't want to go too far back, but if we look at that season when he was with the San Antonio Spurs, they played 10 games in the playoffs that year, so it's a decent sample. He played 34 minutes a game. He averaged 22.5 points a game. He shot 50% from the field, 50% from the field as a perimeter player. He shot 43.6% from the three-point line. 43.6, that's Stephen Curry territory, Klay Thompson territory. He shot 82% from the free throw line. He got you 6.3 rebounds, 2.8 assists, and 2.6 steals. Just think about that. Then in the 2016-2017 season, a season in which some people thought that had Kawhi Leonard not been cheap-shotted by Zaza Pachulia, that the San Antonio Spurs could have possibly won that NBA championship, because he was on a historical run that offseason. If you guys go back and look at his games against the Memphis Grizzlies and others, it was amazing. For those playoffs, he played 36 minutes a game. He shot 52.5% from the field. 52.5. He shot 45.5% from the three-point line and he shot 93% from the from the free throw line. So essentially, he was a 50-40-90 player in the playoffs. When the games mattered the most, he was at his best, and he was averaging 27.7 points a game during that playoff run. He got you 7.8 rebounds, 4.8 assists, and 1.7 steals. Now, ultimately, the San Antonio Spurs lost that series to the then, who would eventually become the Golden State Warriors, the champions. But then, if you thought that was a fluke, let's look at his numbers last season. When he was healthy, he was back in the playoffs, or pseudo-healthy. He was kind of healthy at certain points in the playoffs last season. There were games when we were all questioning his health. Like, is this guy truly healthy? We saw him wincing and, having some issues when he would dunk and come down. So I don't think he was 100% healthy all throughout those playoffs. But let me say, that's not an excuse, because all the players that are going deep into the playoffs, no one is really healthy. Everybody has an injury here and there, and they're all playing through injuries. Now, last season, he upped his minutes to 39 minutes a game. He shot 49% from the field, okay? 49% from the field. He scored 30.5 points a game. He shot 38% from the three-point line, 88.4% from the free throw line, got you 9.1 rebounds, basically rebounded like a power forward, 3.9 assists, and 1.7 steals, and led the entire playoffs in points, rebounds, and I believe steals. That was a historic performance for Kawhi Leonard, the third most scoring output in the history of the NBA behind LeBron James and Michael Jordan. That's the kind of company that this guy is in. Now, let's talk about why this could be his greatest performance ever. Let's look at the circumstances. Given the fact that these games are being played amid a global pandemic, the format of these games is completely different with no NBA fans, something none of us have seen. Then to go into this bubble, compete against other teams under this circumstance. If he were to win this championship with the Clippers, let me just put all of this in perspective. This would be one of the greatest, spurts of excellence we've seen from any NBA player ever. Let's think about it. Last season, he won the NBA championship with the Toronto Raptors, a team that had never been to the NBA Finals before. Masai Ujiri decided that he wanted to make a change. He traded away DeMar DeRozan, brought in Kawhi Leonard, got him from the San Antonio Spurs, inserted him into that organization, inserted him into the lineup. The guy led the team to their first finals appearance and won an NBA championship for an organization that had never won a championship. Then decided to go back to LA, and instead of going to one of the most storied franchises in all of sports with the Los Angeles Lakers, who have 16 NBA championship banners, instead he decided to go play for the Los Angeles Clippers, a team that has never experienced the level of success that the Lakers have in their history since they've been in the NBA, since they've been in the sport. Go to that organization, help lead them to an NBA championship round and win a title. And he would have won 2 championships with organizations that had never won an NBA championship before in back-to-back seasons. That would be one of the greatest performances in NBA history. And if he were to be able to pull something like that off, I think his ranking in the NBA, where we rank him all time, where some bodies are going to need to move. I don't know if it's going to be Kevin Durant. I don't know if it's going to be Stephen Curry. But let me tell you, if he does that, Kawhi Leonard would have had a more impressive career than Kevin Durant and Stephen Curry. I don't care what anybody says. For anyone to be able to pull off something like that under these circumstances and go back to back, I think that will make a resounding case for him as one of the all-time greats. Now, I don't know where that will put him, but for sure he will be up there with with the all-time NBA greats. Now, it's important to say that longevity does play a role, but if we're looking at potential playoff, history, if Kawhi Leonard pulls this thing off, man, under these circumstances, this will be by far his greatest achievement in his career. That's just what I think. given all of the information I just gave to you guys in this video. So what I want to know from you guys is quite simple. Do you think that if he's able to pull this championship off, this will be his greatest performance ever in NBA, in his history of his career? Or do you think he's not going to be able to pull it off and some other team is going to be able to pull it off? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you go ahead and hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. Remember, we're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers. And hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Once again, this is Charles here from Dreamerspro, wishing you guys an amazing day. Peace.